Let's be honest, YouTube is hard, especially for us agents. One of the most frustrating things to see is agents in your own market getting views over and over and over again, but whenever you post, it just doesn't do well. You don't get those views that you're looking for. To help you out, I'm going to show you 4 video ideas that you can use in your market that we've used for our agents that perform time and time again. It's going to help you blow up your channel. Now, who am I? Well, my name is Clayton, a business partner. Dylan and I have over 100 million views on YouTube in multiple different niches. The last year, we've been helping agents get to the #1 spot in their city. So we're going to help you out with our 4 viral videos. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Even as you watch this video, as more and more agents use these concepts in their own market, they're going to become less and less efficient. They're going to be saturated. And so if you want to get the best results, what I would encourage you to do is act fast so that you can actually be one of the first people to post these videos. Everybody else who posted it is actually competing against you. Now, starting off with the first idea, we have the street interview. Now, the street interview is pretty self-explanatory. We actually go in person and just interview the locals. Now, just to show you this works, here's an agent we did this with in Texas, and it has an 8.6 times outlier score, meaning it's performed 8 times better than all of our top performing videos. And then again, we did it over in Oregon, where it's still performed. So this video is performed time and again, but let's look at why this video actually works. So why does this video work? Well, this video works so well because it still is aligned with the living in and moving to audience. People that are actually thinking of moving, they want to know what it's like to live there. Instead of us doing a boring old talking head, we actually give them the opinions of the locals, which is the truest form or truest representation of what it's really like, is asking people that actually currently live there. So instead of giving our own opinion where we have an incentive to get people to move, we have an incentive for people to call us, what we do is we turn it away from us and we give it to the people that actually live there. And it resonates so well with the audience. Not only that, but it's a spin on what everybody else is doing. And there's 2 things about this idea that push it a step further. Number 1 is you can turn this video into what we call a bucket, where it's a concept that you can use over and over again in different formats. So for example, instead of asking locals what they love about living in city-state, what if we asked locals what they hate about living in city-state? Or is it affordable to live in city-state? Or is it safe to live in city-state? Right? We can turn this concept into something we ask people over and over and over again, but just put a spin on it. So now you can take this one concept and turn it into 6, 7, 8 different videos that's going to consistently perform as an outlier for your channel. And the next thing is that you can repurpose this video for YouTube Shorts. Now, one of the most underutilized tools on YouTube by far is YouTube Shorts, especially in the real estate niche. There's so many gurus out there that tell you don't post YouTube Shorts, but the reality is that they just haven't figured it out yet. Now, we've done over 2 billion views on YouTube Shorts. In fact, we released a short form series about this video for one of our agents, and it has over 160,000 views. We've had so many phone calls from it. We've had people reaching out. We've had people going to the long form video, watching that, liking, subscribing, reaching out from there. So if someone says that YouTube Shorts don't work, that's just not true. But you have to know what shorts are effective and how to use them depending on the video that you're putting out. So how did we know that this was going to work? Well, the truth is that we've done this video in so many different markets. We've worked in so many different niches that we can consistently see things that have worked for them. All these other industries on YouTube are massive, and we can apply that to the real estate niche. So the honest truth is that we've just done it before time and time again. And so we can come up with these strategies and these different outliers because of our knowledge outside of the real estate space. One of the biggest issues we see right now is that everyone's trying to copy, different things that are happening in real estate, and it's really the blind leading the blind. And so what we want to do is we want to look outside of real estate. We want to see what are the biggest creators in the world doing, what have we done in the past for some of our biggest channels, and how can we apply that to real estate. And if we can do that consistently, that's where we succeed. And that's what we've done for a lot of these videos that we go through. The second video is definitely one that you should use, and it's a spin on the vlog, and we call it driving tour. Now, you've probably seen some poor examples of this, but the reality is that this is a different spin on the vlog, where most people are consistently putting out vlogs. Again, if that demand has already been met, we need to figure out how do we do something a little bit different. And this is where we've introduced the driving tour, a way to actually go ahead and show people driving through the actual area in person, being able to show what the driving is like, the traffic's like, the shops, the weather, being able to, just really go a step above and deliver on a better experience. We've been able to do that with that driving tour. Here's an example of us doing this in multiple different locations where it's been a consistent outlier time and time again. And another great thing about this idea is that you can also turn it into another bucket where we have the driving tour and then we create different concepts from it. So a driving tour of the #1 city in state, a driving tour of the #1 suburb in city, driving through the best city in blank, driving through the most affordable city, through the worst city, through the most dangerous city, right? You can see how we can go on and on and on and turn that into a bucket for our actual channel. So how did we know that this was going to work? Well, we look at so many niches outside of real estate, and one of the niches we found was a faceless driving tour, and it's been performing over and over and over again. And so we can see that the driving tours work. People are actually interested in watching them. People want to see people drive through the area. But what we wanted to do was put our own spin. So basically we took the vlog, which is a format that we know works, right? People going in person and vlogging, but also combining that with the driving tour. So two very consistent sources of business, applying them together and then being able to be different than the vlog. So it's an awesome strategy that you can use. It's a great way to stand out. Now, one thing I will mention is there is a little bit more planning and production involved in this. Sometimes you need multiple cameras. If you want an example of what that looks like, feel free to reach out to us. I'd love to give you just a quick example of how we've shot these videos in the past. Now, moving on to the third video idea, we have a day in the life of living in city state. Now, this video, I will admit, is a little bit more experimental. Now, once again, this video is a take on the vlog. Now, while every guru out there is telling everyone to make vlogs and just do a vlog of your city, just do a vlog of your neighborhood, the reality is it's saturating the market over and over and over again. And lots of cities, lots of areas are getting saturated with this content. And so what we wanted to do is put another spin on the vlog. And so we came up with a day in the life. Now you can see here when we posted this video in just a short amount of time, it absolutely blew up because everybody else is creating the same content. The demand has been met. When we come in and we introduce a new video, a new concept, the demand for that shifts to us. And we're the only one who's created it. So we're able to capture that big audience all at one time. And so when you do it right, it's an absolutely amazing concept. And again, as always, we're looking for buckets. So we can do a day in the life of the best neighborhood in city state, a day in the life of the nicest neighborhood, a day in the life of the safest neighborhood, a day in the life of what it's like to, live in city state. So you can package this in so many different ways. Now, one last thing I'll give you, which is very crucial for this concept, is to be very careful about not packaging it in the way where it's a day in the life of a real estate agent, because those videos just don't work. Because in reality, the audience doesn't care about you. They care about the information that they give. So when you package it in a day of the life of you, this audience who doesn't know you doesn't care. They care about what it's like to be in that area. They care about what information they're going to get. So these vlogs really work when you're doing the day in the life, only when you're giving them valuable information. So how do we come up with this concept? Well, a day in the life has been done for a long time. It's been done in so many different niches, but in order to package this in a certain way, we had to find some thumbnail concepts that would really show or attract an audience. And so one of the things that we noticed is that there's a 3-panel thumbnail style that's been recently performing really well. And so by taking that concept, that 3-panel concept, combining it with a day in the life, and then putting things like the time, or you could put in different places that we've been, we are clearly showing to the audience, one, that it is a day in the life of, we're delivering on a different and new topic, and then we're also giving them us being in multiple different places. So really giving them full view of what it's like to be in that area. And again, it's only because we found the data that proves that it is a consistent outlier that we can combine all this stuff and turn it into a new bucket for our channel. So this is where, the strategy comes in. This is where, as an agent, a lot of people don't have the time to come up with this stuff. So again, if you're interested in learning about YouTube and you want to work with someone who does know this stuff, again, we do have some links down below. Now, the fourth idea we have for you is the podcast. Now, this is a style that agents have been failing at for a very long time. I can't tell you how many podcasts I've watched in the real estate space that just don't perform that. And I see people post, 50 to 100, 200 episodes before they even hit, 100 subscribers. So I'm going to give you a little secret here on the podcast style for any of you guys that want to use this as an outlier. If I pull up the thumbnail here, you can see that we've branded this as Why I'm Leaving, but the person we're interviewing is the person who's leaving, who is telling their experience on what it was like to live there. And again, you can bucket this in so many different ways. You can bucket this in why I love living here, why I hated living here. You can even go further and you could say interviewing someone who's left the city, interviewing someone who retired in the city, interview someone who just moved to the city, like things I wish I knew before I moved. I mean, you can do this in a lot of different ways if you want to do the podcast style. So this can be another one of those buckets for you. Now, how do we come up with this concept? Well, again, we look outside the real estate niche. So this is a very famous thumbnail concept for a channel called The Diary of a CEO. So some of you may have heard of it. Basically, it's this guy who brings on these really successful CEOs, these people that have insights, asks them questions about what it's like, and he uses this really popular thumbnail style. And again, it's been used in so many different niches to where it's now been a consistent outlier. So when we apply this to the real estate niche, we already have proven data backing it up that this is going to work. So again, it's very easy to shift this into the real estate niche by just coming up with a different angle. And that's what's so frustrating about the space is most people who teach this are just looking inside of real estate. And YouTube is so much bigger than just real estate, guys. Real estate for YouTube has just come around in just the last couple of years, okay? And all these other industries, they've been around for decades, and people have been consistently posting videos. There's channels with hundreds of millions of subscribers, or in YouTube, it's considered good if we get 1,000 subscribers. So just keep that in mind, is that YouTube is such a subcategory of this space. Now, I can give you so many more video ideas, but the truth is you have to apply this to your own city. You have to look and see, what are people doing? What are they not doing? Where can I improve? Where can I be better? Where can I be different? And make sure that you cut through all the noise, all the competition with strategies just like this, just like the 4 that we give you. Now, we have so many more to give you. The reality is we can't give them all away in one video. So if you're an agent and you want to learn a little bit more about how to build your channel to the #1 spot, and you're stuck, you're frustrated, whatever it is, you want some help, click the link below, reach out to us. We'd love to help. If that's not for you and you want to continue learning, all you got to do is click right here and watch our next video.